And welcome back to another episode of Guillotines and Guitars. Tonight we are talking about movie tragedies. When stuff does not go right, when someone gets killed or badly injured, but
or
mostly
scared to death.
Scared to death, but mostly we are talking about someone getting killed by a movie prop or something. So stay tuned and enjoy the show.
Hey!
Look at that. Good job. Welcome back, Carol.
Welcome back,
thanks.
Carol. He come back with a boom.
I know. What you been doing
He's
over there in
taking
Canada?
jobs and stuff.
I've been working.
My job's in jeopardy.
I've been shoveling snow. Lots of snow.
That's the name of the podcast you've been doing up there to practice for that?
Shoveling snow.
Shoveling snow with Carol.
Get the snow out of here.
And of course, before every episode, we do a libation.
That's right. Do we ever do that during the music?
No.
We do not. But twice tonight we will.
That's funny, right? I tell you what. Well, let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
I thought I had it under the table, but I didn't. I had it on top. Ladies and gentlemen, first shot of the night for a guillotine subject brought by Carol, by the way. Buttery nipple. How about that?
Love the buttery nipples.
Chris, catch. Carol. Scotty.
Thank you.
Love the buttery
Thank
nipple.
you. Hold on. Let's get ready for that. This is why we don't do it during the music.
Yeah. You tell him, Trey.
All right. Here we go.
Cheers. Cheers to y'all.
That son of a gun had some booze in it, buddy.
Yes, it did, Job Bird.
Woo.
All right, so we're diving right into it. We're going to dive right into it. So, first thing that comes to mind, I don't know, is the crow?
Oh.
Is the crow considered?
Yes.
That's what I was thinking about. Yes. I was thinking about both.
Wow, I forgot about that one, but you are 100% right because, well, I'll let you tell, but yeah, you're 100% right.
So,
that was actually
what was the, because
mine when I was thinking with Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee, thank you.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee's son.
Yeah,
Right.
That was.
So there was a scene where there was a gun.
Well, let's for people
go ahead
who,
and lay it out for us.
People who don't know, Brandon Lee was Bruce Lee's son. You know, Bruce Lee obviously was the karate guru back in the 70s, 60s, you know. And he had a son, Brandon Lee, who followed in his footsteps and followed in karate. And also then he wanted to be a movie star like his dad. And he played in a couple movies. And he was starting to build his name up and build his brand up, and he got cast for The Crow, which, you know, is a
Very good movie.
The comic book, you know, The Crow, that they did a live adaptation with the movie that they made. And during the shooting of that movie, late, I think they were almost through with shooting the movie. When he was, it was a prop gun that I think they had like a live round or something that they didn't know.
They didn't check it. It's supposed to be blanks of 44.
Yeah. And the actor, Michael Massey, I think, who played Fun Boy in the movie, it was a scene where he shoots him and he actually shot him, and
these are supposed to be blank bullets, like they're supposed to always use, and of course with the Rust movie recently, that's another thing, like why the live rounds even show up. But that wasn't a live round. That was it was a empty bullet, but it had some kind of shrapnel or something inside of it that came out. So it wasn't actually a bullet that hit him.
From what I've read and what I've learned about it is, they used to, when they would make these fake rounds, they wouldn't just use like just gunpowder with no lead in it, that where it would shoot and there would be no projectile coming out. That they used some type of, they used something that it was like a fake bullet or something,
like a rubber bullet,
or something. But this,
I don't want to get hit with that either, though.
Well, it happened to get lodged into the barrel. And then they didn't check the gun to see that that projectile was still in the barrel. So when they went to shoot the actual scene, something, I don't know, whatever ammunition they put in there, where it did, I think they used one that had like the gunpowder, and it pushed that projectile out. And that's what. Let
me tell you what that projectile was. He was supposed to perform being shot to death by a prop gun, but the bullet in the prop gun was real, and it pierced through his abdomen. So this was just a similar situation. Then I thought it was a fake bullet that had shrapnel come out, but the first thing I just pulled up now, this is the internet, so who knows if it's true or not, but the first thing I just pulled up actually said that it was a real bullet. Well, I'm gonna go back and double check that one again, but
yeah, well, I think the actual bullet was stuck into the
barrel
of the gun.
It was loaded with an improperly made bullet round, improvised from live cartridges that had the powder charges removed. So in close-ups, the revolver would show normal-looking ammunition. However, the crew neglected to remove the primers from the cartridge. And at some point, before the fatal event, one of the rounds had been fired. Although there were no powder charges, the energy from the ignited primer was enough to separate the bullet from the casing and push it partway into the gun barrel, which is what you just said, where it got stuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess we're kind of both right there.
Yeah, and then the armor, who's supposed to be the armor technician, I guess didn't check that and see that little piece of the bullet was still stuck in the barrel. Yeah, and they used the gun again and used it like a
when the blank was fired, that is what pushed
it pushed that projectile out and
pierced his abdomen.
Yeah,
wow.
And I think they rushed him to the hospital. I think 8 hours later after surgery, he ended up dying.
That's crazy. Just getting shot in the stomach.
You know, on a movie scene. You know, I mean, they're filming the movie, and what got me was not what got me was it was the script said that Brandon Lee was supposed to, like, when he got shot, he's supposed to fall back because it's supposed to, you know, portray when he gets shot, like he goes back because he got shot, you know. But what actually happened was when he actually got shot, they were filming the scene. When he got shot, he like doubled over and then fell. And
then they were all like, "You are a terrible actor. You didn't listen to what we said at all."
That was what
nobody would fall forward if they got shot.
Yeah, you weren't supposed to do that. You're supposed to go back. You know, when they run up to him, they knew something had happened.
How about this? Poltergeist, 1982.
How can I not tell that you just looked this up?
No, these are my notes.
You don't. Oh, really?
Yes, from earlier. Thank you.
Okay.
I had these ready. These are pre-notes.
Okay.
These are pre-notes here.
I just saw you looking at your phone. I was like, he's waiting until now to look. Hey, Siri. Yeah, no. Poltergeist. That was one of mine, too. Go ahead, Chris.
So, both Heather O'Rourke, who played Little Carol Ann, and Dominique Dunn, who played the older sister, Dana, died while working on the Poltergeist film. O'Rourke died on the operating table when she was just 12 years old while finishing work on the sequel, Poltergeist 3.
What'd she die of?
Don't say. Big cliffhanger.
Yeah, good job looking that one. Good job on your research.
Yeah, I got one more. Hold
on, no. Stick with that one for a second because let's also talk about Dominique Dunn.
Yeah,
the day after the movie premiered, killed by her boyfriend, who apparently was like a really jealous, crazy guy, and is I think he's like out walking the streets right now.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's crazy.
He's still going, and she was on an episode of I think Hill Street Blues. I think it was Hill Street Blues, and there's an ep where she plays a battered girlfriend or something, but she's in the interrogation room. She's being interviewed for something, and she's got black eyes and scratches and stuff on her face. That's not all makeup. some of that is actually real black eyes and scratches and stuff from a fight she had with her boyfriend, I think the night before, or at least just recently. So she's in this show and she's doing this interview and she's been beaten. That's not all makeup that she's wearing. Well, that's done by this crazy boyfriend that was jealous and gone nuts. So, but yeah, he went to her house and they got in this big argument in front of their house. And there was somebody in the house, a friend of hers, I think. And excuse me, came out, saw them fighting. They ended up going from just the front steps where the fight started to like just a few feet over where he murdered her in the driveway.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah.
People are crazy, man.
I know they are. Troy.
Scott.
Aren't you a Greg Allman fan? Or
who?
Greg Allman.
Oh, Greg Allman, yeah.
But
there's another.
Greg Allman fan?
Yeah.
Do you realize they were going to make a movie off of his autobiography called Midnight Rider? Have you heard about this?
I don't remember if I have or not.
I had no clue. They actually started. I mean, they had a production company come out and started making a movie called Midnight Rider. And one of the first scenes, the first day of filming, it was a scene on a train bridge where they were filming. This was the first day of filming.
This is about Dwayne or Greg?
This is about Greg.
Okay.
But they were filming on this train track, and there was a train coming on the train track, and the crew didn't know. It seems funny, but it's not.
It's not funny.
The train it hit the crew. One woman died. One of the camera women died. And 3 others got seriously injured from the train because, I mean, they were literally.
They set up a whole production on the train track, and the train was coming. They couldn't get out of the way quick enough.
Yeah, but it turns out it was the first day of filming for this movie, and the director didn't get the permits and to film on the track, so nobody knew they were out there filming. It was just like, he was just like, okay, we're going out here to this train tracks and we can start filming for this movie.
But he didn't CSX or whatever doesn't know about it.
He didn't contact anybody else.
Yeah. So
nobody.
That's the thing. Like, a lot of people take pictures on railroad tracks, and I don't do it as a photographer. I do not do it because even unless like you have permission to be somewhere because the train track is inactive, like it's not a track that's being used right now, you don't take pictures on a railroad track. It's trespassing, basically. You're not supposed to be there. You're not allowed to be there.
That's what it is.
And you can't.
But I mean,
but the reason is you're not allowed to be there is because people make stupid mistakes. I will say that's a stupid mistake because they set up on a damn railroad track that's active. They didn't check to get permission and make sure that everybody else knew. That's like saying, hey, we're going to do this music video on an airport runway. We're not going to tell everybody that we're doing it, but we're just going to show up and be there.
Let's go.
So I mean, you can't
flash mob.
You can't do that.
But I mean, you would think though that this would have been 30, 40, 50 years ago. No, this was in 2014 this happened.
Well, and today people are still taking pictures and setting up baby gender reveals and stuff like that on train tracks because train tracks look cool in photos. But it's illegal and it's stupid. Don't do it.
I know it is, but I was like, I could not believe that they wouldn't
have notified.
This was a legitimate movie.
Yeah, no,
company.
I could see that, and I totally see the entire production. I have a photo. Me saying this, I have a photo of me, William, and Jonathan doing a photo shoot on the train tracks. The train tracks don't exist anymore, but they were running at the time when we were in the band Split Rail, and so we set up on a set of tracks that split. And
trespassers.
yes, so I have evidence of me breaking the law. I have evidence going against everything that I'm saying right now. But yeah, don't do that. That was back in the 90s, but don't do it today, especially. But we didn't set anything up. We literally just stood there. I'm not going to say who took the picture, because my dad would be pissed if I did that. But we took the picture and got off the tracks.
Don't play chicken with the train. The train always wins.
Yeah. Definitely don't do that.
But so anyway, that movie Midnight Rider, it was shelved. It was canceled after that because obviously 3 people got injured and 1 person died, lost their life.
But no,
that guy will not stop texting him.
Psycho 1960.
Now, who is Myra?
Myra Jones. She was an uncredited body double.
That's plagiarism too, Chris. Unless you
she was
unless you say
but she was murdered on the set by the handyman because he thought it would impress the producer.
Yep.
How about that?
Who was the producer? Don't look. No, Chris. Come on, Psycho.
Anthony Perkins.
No, the producer. Who made Psycho? Don't look it up, Chris.
I can't do it.
Doc Hollywood.
It was
Doc Hollywood.
It was Doc Hollywood.
Alfred
Hitchcock. Alfred Hitchcock. That's what I said.
Wow, you good.
But yeah, that's man. People are just damn crazy. Man, this is gonna impress the producer right here. I'm gonna just murder this, chick right here. This is gonna really get me on the map.
Well, that's why what's his name shot John Lennon. He thought that what was her name? He wanted to impress oh man.
No, you talking about the Hinckley who shot Reagan thought that he was going to impress
not Jamie Lee Curtis. The woman
Jodie
from Terminator.
Foster.
Yeah. There you go. Thank you for correcting me. Yeah. I knew it was something. It was around the same time.
Yeah, that's why he shot Reagan. He's like from Taxi Driver.
Yeah.
From the movie.
Ridiculous.
Another
ridiculousness.
Can I like not go off subject, but it's not a horror movie.
No,
but
people that watch our videos love when we go off subject.
I debunked something because I thought it was for real, like for years. But Wizard of Oz, the hanging of the Munchkin.
Oh yeah, in the background.
True. That's not true.
No, it's like one of those birds. But that scene, there's a whole other scene that was supposed to be there that never got shown. It was a deleted scene.
What are you talking about? The hanging in the Munchkin.
You'd never heard that while filming of the original Wizard of Oz. Something happened where one of the little people didn't get the part with the Munchkins and hung himself during the filming. You can see him swaying in the background.
No, he swings. He like drops down or goes up, one or the other.
You can see a shadow when it happens.
I think I remember.
But it's it's actually like one of the emus or something that they had on the set. But there was a scene where they had these birds in it that was deleted, so you never really know what these birds are about. But you can see the birds in a couple of the scenes or a scene or two. And then there's this one scene that Chris is talking about. It looks like a shadow of a person hanging by a rope. But it's actually like it's just one of these birds.
Yeah,
it's a real bird.
But when we decided to do this subject, I was like, Wizard of Oz, that's gonna be awesome. And I started looking at it. I was like, are you kidding me? It was a myth. I was like,
I spent 6 minutes of researching, and this ain't true.
There was a movie called Under the Rainbow, 1981, that starred Chevy Chase. That was about the craziness that was behind the scenes. I don't know. It wasn't like a true documentary. I don't think it was a comedy, but it was about the Munchkins. The Munchkins like stayed in this place in Hollywood, in like this little hotel or something. And
hotel?
No, it was like a real hotel, but they stayed in this place and they caused all this trouble while they were there.
They caused a little trouble.
Yeah, big trouble in Little China. No, but it's called Under the Rainbow. It stars Chevy Chase. You should check it out. It's about the Munchkins causing trouble in this hotel.
So they kept all the Munchkins in one hotel.
Well, I don't know if every single one of them stayed in this one hotel. I wasn't there, but
probably.
But a lot of them did. Yeah, look it up. Under the Rainbow. Just check the movie out.
What did you look up? Did you have?
I looked up Brandon Lee, but after you took what I had looked up, because I was thinking about Bruce Lee because he had died mysteriously. Well, I don't know. Some people say it was from something, and some people, say it's mysteriously he was killed or whatever. That's what made me think about Brandon Lee, because Bruce Lee died at like 32. Brandon Lee died at like 28 years old. But then after you took that, I didn't really have much, but I thought about Alec Baldwin when he shot that cinematographer or whatever.
Cinematographer.
What I mean,
you've been in Canada too long.
I've been, but
English, motherfucker.
But yeah, so and he injured somebody else too. But
yeah,
so that was the only thing I could think of to go to, because
Heath Ledger.
Heath Ledger died of overdose.
Yeah, we're talking about tragedies during the movie.
Overdose. We're
talking about during the movies, during the production, filming of the movie.
You ain't got no vision. No outs. You got blinders
We
on.
have vision, but we also have a title, a description of the video that we're on. All right, I got one that nobody said, and I can't believe you haven't said.
Let's go to commercial. Let's go.
Do you have sweaty balls? You like a little segue there? Yeah. All right, Twilight Zone, the movie, 1983. The helicopter that comes down and kills the actor and two little Vietnamese boys or kids. I don't know if they were both boys. I think they're both boys. But Twilight Zone, the movie, there was an accident where a helicopter came down and decapitated the guy. It might have decapitated all three of them, but killed the guy and the two Vietnam boys. I wrote this note down because this was interesting. The two child actors that were killed in the accident prompted a lengthy investigation and court case, because it was later revealed that the two Vietnamese child actors who were killed in the tragedy had been hired illegally by the producers. It was also revealed in court that the movie's concept artist mistakenly drew a burned-out helicopter in the middle of a river in his sketches, essentially foreshadowing the accident.
Wow.
And this is... if I'm not mistaken, and somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think I'm wrong, but the actor, let's see, what was his name? Vic Morrow. He was the father of actress Jennifer Jason Leigh. The year before they filmed this, or not a year before, sorry, right before they filmed this, he had actually said something about they needed to get a stunt double to do this, or I'm going to die on the set. I'm going to die doing this one day, or something like that. There's a foreshadowing. There was a quote that he said that after it happened, it was like, oh my God, he just said this.
Was he the one that took like a $5 million
$5 million life insurance policy on himself. Yeah, here's the quote. He said he told family and friends that he had a premonition something bad was going to happen to him in an upcoming movie.
And before he did the movie, I think he took a $5 million policy.
Yeah.
Out on himself. Yeah. And he told his family and all. He's like, I think something's gonna he said I saw a premonition
a year before filming it.
Yeah, when I'm on a movie set, something's gonna happen where I'm gonna die.
Damn.
And he took a $5 million policy out on himself.
I'd have probably quit acting.
And a year later and it was, I think the plane crashed and the helicopter, and there's a
shot of them.
It decapitated him, though, didn't it?
Yeah, but I think it did all three, but there's no telling. But he was decapitated, yeah. But there is a photo out there of the scene being shot. They're in like this water. It almost looks like they're in a cave, but I don't think there are. Maybe they're in between mountains or something. But there's water that they're running through, and the helicopter is above them. And so right after that photo was taken, the helicopter, I guess, lost control, came down and crashed on them.
You know what I wonder is if the insurance company paid out that money to him. Because the
way insurance companies work, there was probably some clause that they said, well, you didn't mention helicopters.
Well, no, because he said when he took the policy out, he was like, I feel like I'm going to die.
And they say, no, we can't pay out because you may have done this on purpose.
Yeah.
You may have set this up. I could see
I wonder if he got paid. I wonder if we could find out if he got paid out that money.
Wow.
Because to me, that I can see an insurance company saying, oh, this is an interview he had a month before he died.
If you have an interview and you say, man, that truck I got out there, I'm going to end up wrecking that in the next month. And then you get in a wreck. Yeah.
I can see insurance company saying, "Hey,
No,
we're clear that I wonder if he got paid that money."
that's a good point.
Yeah, I'd like to find that out.
I wonder how many tragedies per year are in the filming industry.
Well, we hear about big ones, but I don't know. I mean, like, think back in the day, and we're looking at 82 and 83 with Twilight Zone and Poltergeist, and 1960 with Psycho. How we don't remember. We were there, but we don't remember how big that was in the news, right?
Right.
I know Carol Ann from Poltergeist was, because she was like America's sweetheart, right? So I'm sure that was big in the news. I know it was, but the other ones, how big were they? Were they as big as like the Alec Baldwin thing just recently?
Well, I think it,
or some things with some extras and stuff that the people that don't get a lot of credit.
And you also have to look at how media has changed. It used to be
everybody knows everything now.
Yeah, it used to be back then in the 80s. You got your news from the three major companies: CBS, ABC, NBC.
That was back when they told the news and not their opinions.
Yeah,
of the news.
But still, that was how you got the information. You had no other way of getting it. Now it's at a flick of your phone. You have everything instantaneously. So things have changed a lot since then.
All right, everyone. That's all the time we have for tonight. Thank you for joining us here on Guillotines and Guitars. We will see you next time.
He's taking my job.
I know.
A lot of
go ahead and take us out.
questions that we have left. But
go ahead and take us out.
Scott can take us out.
Go ahead. Come on.
We got
Scott.
plenty of time.
Come on.
Thanks for joining us. It was a great episode. We look forward to seeing you next time. I need to look at that one.
Yeah, you look at whatever camera you want.
Yeah, I can look anywhere. Stay tuned. Join us for our live show coming up. Chris will be wearing something exciting on our live show, and he's got prizes to give away. Until next time, we will see you on Guillotines and Guitars, and we're out.
See ya.
Boom.